Well, I'm grateful you're here once again as we continue this journey, More Than Words. And this week we're talking about forgiveness. And today I want to encourage you to look for water, not gas. Look for water, not gas. If you have a fire going on and your intention is to put that fire out, you cannot put it out by dumping gasoline on it. In fact, the opposite will happen, right? You dump gasoline on it, it's only going to cause the fire to grow. You've got to use water if you want to put a fire out. And as we talk about forgiveness and this idea of Jesus talking in the Lord's Prayer and modeling for us that we pray, forgive us as we forgive those who have wronged us or sinned against us. Again, it's more than words. It's the lifestyle that Jesus was modeling there was a lifestyle of forgiveness. That it's not just about us getting forgiveness. It's about us being an avenue through which God's grace is extended to other people. And God frees us when we're able to forgive and release other people. And oftentimes when we have been wronged in some way, when someone has sinned against us, to use that phrase, it can feel like a fire within us. Our hurt, our pain, our frustration, whatever emotion boils up for you, it's almost as if there's a fire inside of us. And oftentimes we will either intentionally or unintentionally dump gasoline on that fire. And when we do, it will prevent us from being able to forgive that person, release that person, and ultimately free ourselves from the grip that grudge has on us. So this week, I want to encourage you to pay attention to the things that you're engaging with in life, whether it's media, it's news, social media, things that you're reading, what you're doing with your time. And as you observe those, ask yourself the question, is this dumping gasoline on my fire, or is this dumping water on my fire? So much of what we come across in the media, the news, other outlets of information can only serve to stir up our angst and our anger, our frustration, these negative emotions towards others who have wronged us. And when we dive into those things over and over again, it just dumps gasoline on our fire. And when we do that, it essentially prevents us from living out this life that Jesus has invited us to when he invited us to follow him. And so what might be water in your life this week? What might help you to not just fuel the fire that's already in you? I want to give you one practical way that this may play out. Several years ago, I heard my counselor, Denise, who you already got to hear from this week, she shared with me this thought around marriage. She said one of the keys to marriage is to to find the most generous explanation for someone's behavior and then believe it with all of your heart. Find the most generous explanation for one's behavior and then believe it with all of your heart. It's actually not a new idea. The Apostle Paul in Philippians chapter 4 talks about this very thing as well. You might be familiar with these verses. At the end of this letter that he's written to the Philippians, he says, "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." Think about things that are excellent and praiseworthy, that are right, that are pure, that are lovely and admirable. And the negative side of that Paul doesn't say because he doesn't have to, is don't think about the things that are not excellent and praiseworthy. Don't think about the things that are not true and not noble. The things in those categories are often the gasoline that we were talking about earlier to our angst, our bitterness. and our negative emotion towards other people. So today, think about what might be water for your situation. Follow Paul's explanation. Whatever is true, right, noble, pure, lovely, admirable. Find the most generous explanation for that person's behavior and believe it with all of your heart. When you do that, you get one step closer to the forgiveness that Jesus calls us to, and the forgiveness that will free me and you to live the life that he's given us. We'll see you next time.